What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the NASCAR Racing 2003 Career Mode. Today, we are at Darlington International Raceway. As always, before we begin, let's take a look at the point standings. So you'll see we got Harry Gant and Dale Jarrett are up at the top, but Bobby Labonte leads the full-time drivers with 700 points. And we're down in 17th. We've taken a bit of a fall after the last race at Hickory, but we're still within striking distance of the leaders. So hopefully we can go out there at Darlington today and get a good result. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into qualifying. Alright, here we go. Qualifying at Darlington. If the layout is a little confusing to you, you may not be old enough to remember the old layout of Darlington, where the finish line is on what is now the backstretch. They basically just swapped it from the front stretch to the backstretch. Alright, here we go. Lap number 1 done. We have a 33.4. That's a good time, but not a great time. I don't think it's going to be good enough for pole, but it'll be good enough for probably top 5. Lap number 2, a 32.1. Wow, that is the fastest lap around Darlington that I have ever driven, and that will definitely be good enough for the pole. Alright, here we go. We are on the pole at Darlington. If there is one thing I've learned about this track from my time doing practice sessions, it's that passing is impossible. So track position is going to be very important. There are very few places on this track where you can pass one car, but if you get behind the pack, it's almost impossible to move through them. So basically, we've got to hold on to this track position for dear life. In terms of fuel mileage, we should be able to get away with one stop, cut it in half. Tires shouldn't be much of an issue. I didn't really find any tire wear issues in any of my testing in terms of fall off and speed fall off. So here we come to the green flag, taking the green flag at Darlington.
Green flag, green flag, green.
I will say this first corner is really tough as you're getting up to speed. I tend to get really loose on this corner as I'm getting up to speed, but if we can get through this corner in the lead, which we do, we should have clean sailing from here. I just need Elton Sawyer to not get into my left rear. One thing I did notice in practice a lot is that we have a lot of speed coming out of 4, which doesn't seem like something that a lot of the other cars have. So we've got to keep that in mind, take advantage of that. I think the best place to pass, based on my limited experience, the best place to pass is to get a good run out of 4 and then go high on somebody going into 1 and 2. That was where I had the most success passing, but we just got to take what we get when it comes to passing on this track, because there's very little to be had. Thankfully, right now, that's not something we have to worry about. But as the race goes on, if we stay green for a long time, eventually we will catch up to the lap traffic, and that's when things will become very interesting, because even though we'll be much faster than them, they will still be able to take up a lot of the racetrack and really make us have to work for passes. Darlington is one of my absolute favorite tracks in the entire world of NASCAR and the entire world of oval racing. Just the fun, unique differences between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, the high banking, the fast speeds. It's a tough track. It's very narrow. It's very hard to run, but it's so much fun. It's very rewarding, and I'm fortunate that we're running so well here in the early stages of the race. And things are about to start getting interesting for us here in the next probably 10 laps, because we do still have a good sizable gap over Dale. We got a 9-second lead over second, but we can see the guys in front of us now. And so I know that my time is limited when it comes to this clean air driving that I've been doing. So I am eventually going to have to start working my way through this pack in front of me, and that's not something I particularly want to do, but you know, we'll just have to see what we can manage. They just don't give you any room. I mean, he's riding right in the middle of the track. It makes it really hard to pass, and as we come off, see how he's riding in the middle? There's no room below him. So like I said earlier, we're going to have to use the fact that we can get a lot of speed off of turns 3 and 4 to get underneath him. We did make a little bit of contact there, but as narrow as this track is, sometimes you got to make contact in order to make a pass. See if we can get a run on the bottom here. We have the speed to get those runs, but then it's, you know, what do you do here? Because you got to get on the brakes really hard. I mean, I'm going to have to start bumping people if you're going to take up the entire racetrack. Trying to pass on the high side, but also trying not to hit the wall. See if we can cross over underneath him here. That seems to be a pretty effective strategy. So there are ways to pass on this track, but you have to really be intentional about it, and it's really easy for somebody to squeeze you out. I mean, what are you doing there, Warburton? They start off so low, but then they slide right up the track in 3 and 4. It's really hard to do anything in 3 and 4 because of that. And they slow down so much on the exit. Look at this. Look at them jumping out way down there. And of course, they have to check up a lot in the corner. I mean, it was kind of a dumb move. And we do the, so we pass some on the outside and we execute the crossover all in one corner. That was definitely a good corner's worth of passing. Look how wide they are up there, Bobby Labonte in that yellow car. And then we have to slam on the brakes. I mean, we're getting down to 95 mile an hour because we take such wide entries into that corner, and then we have to, like, figure out what we're going to do. So the pit window is beginning to open here. There's several different strategies, but because track position is so important, we have a 10-second lead on second place. So I'm not really worried about them catching me with tires if they short pit, which if I was them, I probably would. My biggest fear is track position and getting caught out during a caution. So for me, I think the strategy's got to be stay out as long as we can and hope we don't get a caution. But if we do, then maybe there'll only be a handful of cars on the lead lap, and we can have an easy time without as many cars to try to pass if we get back going and we get passed. We've got some clean air right now, so I'm going to use it while I've got it. I do feel the car starting to get tighter. It's getting harder and harder to hold turns 3 and 4 at almost full throttle. It looks like to me everyone has pitted pretty much. So for that, I think that not this time, but next time by, if I've got the space, I'm gonna hang back a little bit on these cars in front of me, because I don't want to be right up on them and be fighting for position in the middle of 3 and 4 when I have to duck out to the pits. So we're coming this time, taking fuel, taking tires.
That car's a lap down. Keep it under 45. Keep it under 3,500 in second. That car's a lap
I don't
down.
actually know when the pit,
That car's a lap down.
like, speed
That
limit
car's a lap down.
begins,
That car's a lap down.
but We got in pit road pretty well there. No use risking a speeding penalty.
Go, go, go! Limit 45. Keep it under 35.
The game says we're in second. We're 7 seconds behind Harry Gant, apparently. So, yeah, we got a little bit of work to do here. Alright, we're right up on him now. We got a couple cars between us and him. So we just got to cleanly pass a few, and we'll be right up on him. Look at him dive way down there, Rick Mast. I'm going to get on the brakes because they're going to have to get on the brakes to... It's like turn one of Circuit of the Americas, where you've got these cars fanning out so wide, and you know they've all got to funnel into a small space. That's basically what happens here, going into turns one. These cars will fan out way below, you know, what the apron should be, and then they'll all have to get together because turn 1 and 2 is not wide. Ooh, I see smoke up there. I see smoke, but I do see the car here. All right, well.
Keep high. Clear inside.
I'm not sure how Harry Gant managed to overcome such a lead on us in pit road. We did repair a little bit of damage where we had scraped the wall, and I think maybe scraped another car once or twice. But for him to get out 7 seconds ahead of us means he basically gained 17 seconds somewhere in the pit cycle. Now, it's possible that he got some clean air and gained a handful of seconds on me like that. It's also possible that his pit entry was a little more aggressive than mine. I was pretty conservative. But for that to amount to that much time is a little surprising. He may have been able to get on the gas a little earlier, you know, depending on where he cycled out. Alright, this is our chance right here to make up a lot of ground. We finally got an opening on the high side. Rick Mast, don't slide up into me now. Yeah, I really don't like driving like this. It's so congested.
That car's a lap down. Stay high. Still there. The next car's the leader.
Alright, we've caught the leader here. We've got lap traffic all around us, though, which is going to make things interesting as we try to work our way around him.
Car inside. Clear.
Yeah, they like to slide way up in 1 and 2.
Car inside. That car's a lap down. Stay high. The next car's the leader.
We're going to aggressively try to pass him on the outside, and we got him.
Clear inside.
And we have reclaimed the lead with 25 laps to go. I'm wondering if Harry Gant took 2 tires, because in just a few laps, I mean, we have left him.
Clear outside.
And so I can't help but wonder if part of his strategy was a 2-tire stop. But I feel like
That car's a lap down.
to go 70 laps on left side tires, which again, this is times 2 fuel and tires, so that's basically going 150 laps on left sides. That just seems really idiotic for a car that was running really well and was in a position to probably finish top 5 even if he took 4. So I mean, who knows with the AI in this game, but that would surprise me a little bit, I think.
Car outside. The yellow back to the line. Okay, we're under caution. We got trouble in turn 1. Stay behind the pace car.
I'm really
Whoa,
thankful
slow down.
that that counted as me
63
passing the
car.
start and finish line there, because I believe the one car is Mark Martin. Got into the wall there. Let's see if this is an example of nobody giving each other space. Oh no, the 96 just, oh, that's a hard hit. This is pretty safer barrier. So to right rear Mark Martin into turn 1 at Darlington, that's a hard hit. Tom Peck's cockpit cam now. And yeah, I mean, it's something that I struggled with a lot in practice, was going into turn 1, the cars just like to stack up. And so it was, you always got to be cautious when you're in traffic going into turns 1 and 2. Because the cars like to slam on brakes on entry into 1. I don't know if anybody's going to pit here for tires. They might. Yeah, actually they are. And I'm going to too.
Limit 45. Keep it under 3,500 in second. Pass the 63 car. The pace cars on the front straight. Remember, don't pass the stop sign at the end of pit road. The pace cars in turn 1.
Wonder if we'll see anybody take 2. I think Harry Gant may have taken 2 that time, because he got out really fast.
Go, go, go! Keep it under 45. Keep it under 35.
So late in the race, we will find ourselves behind the 7 car once again. We'll both be on fresh tires, and we will have probably 13 or 14 laps to try to get around him for the win. It is unfortunate because I didn't see really many ways that we wouldn't win had we stayed green. We had a pretty sizable lead, and I mean, it would have taken a fluke spin or something for us to lose that lead, but all it took was a caution, and now all of a sudden we're behind the 8 ball again. Alright, here we go. One last restart, hopefully.
Green, green, green! Still there. Still there. You're up top, 3 wide. Stay high.
And Harry Gant's falling back a lot, which might confirm my suspicion of his 2-tire strategy, but... Oh, don't... Oh, who would it have been if it wasn't Dale Jarrett getting into the back of me, putting me in the wall? Little bit of revenge. Thankful that we didn't lose it there. But, oh, everybody's passing really aggressively here, and... Yeah, Harry Gant must have taken 2 tires because he's fallen quickly. Not a good move from him. He could have come out, fought for the win. To take 2 tires, I understand that track position's important, but there's a little too much time left to try to pull that. Whoa, don't come out on top of me. So this shakes things up quite a bit here. Speaking of shaking things up, that will shake things up pretty well too. And this is a wreck that's just caused by a lack of room. Look how tight they are through there, how narrow of a track this is, and cars just start getting together and it collects a whole bunch of them. That's a big one if I've seen one at Darlington. But yeah, this is just further proof that 3 wide at this Darlington track is a recipe for disaster. I mean, they're maintaining it, but when they come off, they squeeze, and yeah, it just collects a whole bunch of them. It will be very interesting to see what's going to happen in these last 10. The good news about this is that we will be restarting single file. The bad news is we're in 5th, so we've lost a little track position, and we're going to have 5 or 6 to go, I think, when we restart. Before we go green, I do want to take another look at what Dale Jarrett did. So he can't pick a lane. I'm high right now, and it's hard to call, but it looked like he just went up into me. Here it is again in slow motion. So I'm maintaining my lane. He's kind of trying to get between 2 lanes. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to dive bomb me. I'm trying to get a little lower than maybe I should. Maybe I should have given him more room, but he just, I mean, he dive bombed me. What was I supposed to do? So, very lucky to maintain it there, and he comes out of it in first place for this next restart. Alright, so we're getting ready to go green here, just to give you an idea of the cars on the lead lap. So Dale Jarrett up there in first. He's leading the race. The white car, that's Davey Allison, he's in second. Behind him, Earnhardt in third. Behind him, Eldon Sawyer in that white and baby blue car is in fourth. We are in fifth. And for hopefully the last time here at Darlington,
Green, green, green.
we are green.
That car's a lap down. Outside. That car's
Make an
a lap
aggressive pass on Earnhardt.
down. Clear outside.
We're up to fourth. Jarrett's falling back. He got stuck on the outside.
Car's the leader.
Davey Allison leads this lap. Will lead this lap. Whoa!
Still there. You're in the middle. 3 wide. Clear inside. The yellow flag is out. Let's go. Race back to the line. Clear. Pit road is closed. There's an accident in turn 4. Okay, we're under caution. Catch up to the end of the pacing line. Stay behind the 25 car. Pass the 08 car. Just 5 more to go. Pass the 08 car.
I cannot for the life of me understand why these cars that were a lap down, were they trying to pit? I mean, they were getting on the brakes really hard. I think they were. Waltrip looked like he was, at least. This ended up collecting a huge number of cars. This was quite a big accident behind me. Saw one flipping there. And then after it happened, I thought that we might end under caution. So I was really gunning at trying to pass Earnhardt, which now I realize was going to be impossible, but that's what caused me to spin, and people just ARCA braked it up and would not stop, kept running right into me. I was spinning for quite a while. This race is starting to feel a little bit more like a modern NASCAR race, where the race is really clean for 90% of the race, and then something weird happens that brings out a caution late. Those cautions breed cautions, and everything falls apart after that. Let's see, so we're not going green with 2 to go, which means if we go green it will be on a white flag. I don't think they'll do that, which means that this race will probably end under caution. Tell me that we're going to go green next time by.
We're going green next time by.
Ho ho ho! Alright, well this makes things a little interesting. We will have a 1-lap dash to try to see what we can do. Now, we want to be cautious about this. We don't want to wreck, because a wreck puts us at 14th. That's the worst we could finish. We don't want to wreck, but I'm going to get pretty aggressive here with some of the moves that I pull. I may try to jump to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. We've been able to pass there occasionally. And what has seemed to happen on restarts is the top side gets really bogged down and the bottom side ends up going. So my strategy here, I think, is to try to get a good restart, jump to the bottom of the 26 without passing him before the start-finish line, but get a good enough run that I can dive bomb into turns 1 and 2. And, yeah, here we go for maybe the most exciting lap of the year right here.
Green, green, green. That car's a lap down. White flag. 1 more lap to go. Car outside. Stay low. Clear.
Elton Sawyer to the inside. He takes the lead over Davey Allison.
Car outside. Clear outside.
We got Dale in front of us.
Outside. Clear outside.
And after all that, we will come home with a 3rd place finish.
Good job. All right, there's the checkered flag.
It wasn't the win that we hoped for, but a 3rd place finish is a great points day. I'm pretty happy with that. We will have most laps led. Disappointed not to get a win there. That was a really exciting last lap, though. And I'm proud. If anyone was going to win it, I'm glad that Elton Sawyer won it. That's good for him. So yeah, after all that, a good race from us to finish third. Disappointing not to win, but happy for Elton Sawyer that he got the win. If you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more of these episodes. Leave a like if you enjoyed that chaos there in the last 10 laps. That'll do it for this one. I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.